Hello, everyone. Welcome back to How Come. This episode is Merry Vaginismus Part 2. If you liked Merry Vaginismus Part 1, it's not the same. This one is in New York. I'm back in New York. Merry Vaginismus Part 1 was recorded when I was still in LA, like a month and a half ago. And we touched on vaginismus a little bit, but I am lucky to have the creator of the term Merry Vaginismus on this episode. Her name is Molly Brenner. She's a comedian, and she did a one-woman show at the Tank called Molly Brenner Is Not Coming. It was an amazing, amazing show. I got to go. A bunch of people, I wrote this on Facebook, but a bunch of people tagged me in it or sent it to me being like, oh my God, this girl is stealing your thing. And I was like, not coming? Like, that's not my thing. Like, a lot of people don't come. That's why I have this podcast. So I messaged Molly and I was like, hey, can I come to your show? And she was like, of course. And she gave me free tickets. She was like, bring anybody else with a dysfunctional vagina. She didn't say that, but she allowed me to. So I brought my friend Riley Lassin, who is an up and coming rising star comedian. She's amazing. Molly's show deals with vaginismus. So we learn about that and her and Riley's story too, which is very interesting on this episode. I've been running shows with Jamie Manellis for like 2 years now, and I didn't understand vaginismus as much as I do after this episode. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna just
Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Molly, I'll just let you go through your journey, and then I just want to compliment you for a while because that show was fucking amazing. Riley,
I cried. I cried. Oh my God. Because we'll go. You'll talk.
Yeah,
I started to cry.
Oh my God.
I was like, what? Like, it means a lot. Okay.
I didn't know you cried. That's amazing. I mean, I'm sorry you cried, but
No, it's good.
It's joy. Tears of joy.
Yeah.
Tears of joy.
That's amazing. So I'm 28 and I've never had an orgasm. And I hadn't heard of your podcast when I decided to write my show. So
Yeah, it wasn't out yet.
yeah, so I started writing the show back in the fall. I had always wanted to write something about how I'd never had an orgasm, but I was afraid to, and afraid that it was too personal, and was afraid of kind of taking the material to open mics and it bombing and also being really personal.
I so get that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't
just
even think about that part of it.
Yep. Especially in front of all those male
Fucking
comics.
guy.
Yeah, and like I also, I was always a really shy girl, and so like doing stand up alone was terrifying for me, and then also doing stand up about something so personal was like too terrifying. But there's this festival at the Pit in November called SoloCom Festival that was coming up, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to submit to this festival. And I originally submitted with a different concept, but then once I got in, I was like, I'm going to do an orgasm show. Yeah. And so I started writing the show, and I put it up for the first time at SoloCom Festival, and the response was amazing at SoloCom Festival, and it was just so therapeutic for me. It was probably like the best moment.
I loved your drawings, by the way. She had drawing.
my God.
This show wasn't just stand up, by the way. We have to like paint more of a picture. It was like
sketch
characters,
and yeah.
and then there was like little like photographs like in between bits and stuff, and like
It was relatable too.
It was
to people,
so fucking
which was
relatable.
Interesting.
She's talking about how like she would draw sex in the clouds or whatever. Like you were like 6 or 7, right, or something.
I was like 4.
Okay, yeah. I used to draw people fucking in kindergarten. I made a sex book with my friend Alexandra Kaplan's, shout out, now Alexandra Widrick. I don't care. I'm naming you. We had crushes and we drew ourselves naked with them.
I think we were all like, I was very sexual in middle school. I think because like I had huge boobs, like part of everyone. But so I was so sexual, yet I had this thing. It's weird how sexual like you two are, how I am.
Yeah.
Yet
Yeah.
sex is so hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
That is
We're
exactly.
so sexual. Like I'm a sexual being. Like I love the feeling of like I love it.
I
but
love it.
Yet it's like I can't
Yeah.
It's like a fat kid looks like cake and it's like I can't eat it, but like I want to eat it.
Yeah,
and it hurts me.
I relate to that so much. I had a friend say to me recently, like, when I think of you, I think you only think about sex.
Yep.
Right.
Why? Yeah. Why is sex so hard then?
Because we like love it so much and we just want to like do it perfect.
Yeah.
But we can't. Like we can't.
Well, you guys can't because
well,
I mean we'll talk. Okay, but
Yeah. So something that I talk about in my show
Yeah.
is that I have or had something called vaginismus, which is basically an involuntary contraction of the pelvic muscles.
I didn't know it was called that either. I was just high pelvic wall dysfunction. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's basically where your vagina won't let anything in.
Yeah.
Like for me, the way I experienced it was like I felt like I had a fear of penetration, and I feel like I've mostly gotten over it now. So maybe I'll say I had it.
I was wondering during your show too, like if your body has a fear of penetration, would that mean oral too? Like you wouldn't want anything, or like maybe like Q-tipping your ears or picking your like, is it all of that or just?
Oh, I love blowjob. Like
You love blowing.
I could
dudes.
blow a dude. Like I don't know if it's because because I was like I could do this instead of having sex in college. You know what I mean? Like people like instead of having sex,
Riley
I
has
would blow a
vaginismus
dude
too.
because
When
You do?
yeah. That's surprise.
People would come up to me after my show and be like, I have the same thing. And I'd be like, wait, which one?
Yeah, I have because I was diagnosed with like high pelvic wall dysfunction, so I went to physical therapy. I've been going since September.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I looked into that, but I was like,
Oh,
let
girl,
me.
it's the best.
When
Okay.
did you find out that you had it?
I what was it? It was like senior year in college. I went to my gynecologist and I was like, enough. Like I need I something's wrong. You know what I mean? And she's like, let me give you an exam. She did it and she said, it looks like you've been abused. Like that's what it looks down there. Like that you tighten, like the way we tighten up. So that whole year, I'm like, what's wrong with me, right? I go to therapy.
She didn't know what it was?
But like that's how people are with women. Like, oh, you must have been abused, or like have a glass of wine, or you know what I mean? Like I think that's the first thing people think of. They're like, oh, figure this out. And then I went back to her and I'm like, hey, I'm still having this issue. I could never use tampons.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
never like masturbate. And then coming into New York, the year I came into New York, I went to a therapist. And so last September, so I've been here for 2 years almost.
Yeah.
So last September, I finally went to a physical therapist and got it like all straight. Like it's like I've been going now since that September,
How many times a week?
once a week, and now
Okay.
I've cut it down to once every 2 weeks.
Nice.
Hey. I'm still scared to use the dilators though.
Yeah.
Is that you did the little Russian dolls?
Yeah.
Like I'm so proud of you that when you said that, I was like, oh, go girl. Like I still need someone to like help me out.
So what was left on the cutting room floor of my show is that so one of the treatments for vaginismus is using these things called dilators, which are like plastic things that ease you into penetration.
What color is yours?
They were white. Oh my god, plastic white.
It's
yeah.
pink. It's pink.
But what I left out of my show is that when I first bought them, this is in the shows that I couldn't get it in at first. And then I had to go back to the gynecologist to have her like put the first one in, and two nurses held my hands because I was like so terrified. I think I was like crying.
Yeah.
And so I was like, great, now I'll use these. And then I like put them under my bed for a year or 2 years and then
It's
eventually use them.
Yeah, anything that like your body is not inclined to do, you're like, fuck, I feel broken.
It's so
Yeah.
personal.
And it's so personal. And the second that you start trying to treat it, it's like this, like, well, if I fail, then I'm really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like you feel like less of I felt like less of a woman. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like I do it in my stand up now, and I have a whole bit. But like, and I make fun of it with my friends, but it's like, it was rough going.
Yeah.
You know, it took me months before going to a physical therapist because she literally has to, it's an internal. She just just like it desensitizes the area.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God. Like, it was so scary. Like, talking to, like, my dad's like, what's this on the billing? Like,
Yeah. Oh my
you know what I mean?
God.
Like, it gets real personal.
Yeah. Oh my God. I had a friend of mine who's a male comedian. I was saying that you were going to do the show, and he was like, oh yeah, I met her recently. We both saw each other perform. He's like, and she described it in such detail on stage that I was like, oh, like she has to be telling the truth. This can't be made up. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, why
It's
would
all a
she be
lie.
lying about that? Who is like, I mean, in your show, you were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if it was called like tight pussy disease or whatever? And said,
Yeah.
like, who, but you would never like lie to the point that you're like, yeah, I can't fuck.
This is how I want my name out there. Like, oh, that female comedian can't
everyone
fuck.
love, yeah.
Yeah, she got that tight pussy.
It's not great.
But it's psychologically terrible because I'd be like, okay, instead of having sex, I'll just blow you instead. And look, now you're happy. Like, it's bad. But hey, now I'm like,
But at least it let you like feel a part of being able to talk about like sexy stuff.
yeah, be a
with
part
people,
of it, I
yeah.
guess. Yeah, like, oh, I didn't fuck it, but like, I sure blew him. Like, I don't know.
But you can fuck now. You fucked the first time
Yeah, like,
recently.
I like tried in college and like with this guy, but he had like a 9-inch thing. Like, it was huge.
Jesus,
it was
don't
terrible.
start with that.
See,
I actually started with a really thick fucking dick too, and I hated it.
That's terrible.
I thought my vagina didn't exist when the first time I tried to put a tampon in because it was really small. And I remember my mom was on the other side of the door. I was trying to put it in. I was like, I don't have a hole. And she goes, you have a hole, I swear. So I can't like
and then having to put like a
fucking
light bulb in your like.
No, Riley, don't
See?
start with that.
I'm sorry.
No.
Oh no, yeah, 9 inches, and then I never. He like put the tip out. I was like, it's terrible. So I never had sex. Like I never had like enjoyable sex. To, like almost
Did you have
3 months ago.
relationships? Or
No, I think because, and I don't know, like, because I was listening to your show about like having a boyfriend. Like I could never have a relationship because I could never have sex.
I was definitely always afraid that guys would break up with me because of it.
Yeah, I was so scared of
Yeah.
that.
And I'm pretty sure I did have guys who broke up with me because of it, but they never said.
Oh, definitely.
Like, yeah.
Like there was definitely an end because blowjobs can get you so far.
Yeah, I would
sucks.
really relate to what you were saying about that. I used to just like give blowjobs. I just be like, "Ooh, let me give
me
you a
blow
blowjob,"
you.
and then we're cuddling, we're done.
I was so happy when that was over. I was so happy when I had my period, hooking up with a guy.
Yeah.
It was like a relief.
Yeah, me too.
And now when I have my period, I'm like, fuck, like I'm so happy.
oh,
It's so exciting. Okay, I was just, that's great.
wait. So the first successful bone was
Like almost like 3 months
3
ago.
months ago.
Yeah. It was like, I was like, oh my God. That's when you said it in your show. When you said like, oh my God, it's it. That's when I started crying. Cause like, I was so, cause I like, oh my gosh, it's like a relief.
Yeah.
It's a relief. You're like, this feels good. Like, oh my gosh, those years of all those Sex in the City shows and all those, like all my girlfriends, I was in a sorority
Yeah.
talking about like, oh yeah, I fucked this guy last night. It was, I'm like,
I can't.
what's
I'm not.
that? I can't even include it. And now I can be like, like
Yeah.
like, oh yeah. I'm like, I fucked a guy too last night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, I finally joined the club.
Yeah.
Okay, I went to the Museum of Sex a couple months ago after I first put up my show, and everyone's like, you need to try a different vibrator.
Vibrator's
So I was
not your thing, maybe though.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, I'll go to the Museum of Sex, and I just like walked in and I said to the person who was working there, I was like, I've never had an orgasm. Like, please recommend a vibrator to me. And they showed me that lipstick thing, and they were like, this makes me cum buckets.
Yeah, literal bucket.
Oh my God.
But I didn't like the idea of like suction.
I know, because it sounds like
It's
really
so pretty,
creepy,
though.
but it's beautiful.
It's such a pretty looking
and
thing.
also like it's the first setting's like pretty tame.
Oh,
Whoa.
So that's the thing is I was saying about like people like us who like can't get out of your head. It doesn't really give you the option. Like
it does. Oh, I want to.
yeah.
That's great. See, the thing is, I came while having sex.
Amazing,
Right? Like it's
From
amazing.
vaginal penetration.
From vaginal penetration.
So you're
but
in the
I can't-
8%.
Like I felt so like I would like it's amazing. Like I don't know. I was like, oh, is this like a certain
What did
person
that
can do
feel
it?
like? Because I've not been able to do that.
Like I get nervous that
pulse
this is like
around the
not
dick?
like this is not it. Like I keep
No,
being
no,
like,
no.
Is this it? But I think it was it.
No,
Like,
if you thought it was, it was.
it definitely was. Yeah. Like it definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
And it's only happened once.
It's happened a couple times, multiple times, but I've never done it myself.
Okay, well,
That's what's
because
so
you're probably
crazy.
not like fisting yourself or like throwing dildos up there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm scared to do it myself, like make myself come, but like I've had like that, like oh man,
I'm gonna get you some toys,
toys.
or I'm gonna get at
but
least
like
recommend.
so like
a
in my
bunch.
head, I'm
Yeah.
like okay, if like to get that like feeling, I have to have sex with a man. Like no, like there's
Not
ways
that-
to do
so,
it.
So that's the thing
Yeah.
is like I always used to put like my sexuality completely on like, for some reason being sexual alone felt creepy. And maybe it's because like, you know, like if you were drawing sex or whatever, people were
Yeah.
like, don't do that. Or
Yeah.
like I always used to, like I developed early, I'd always like play with my tits in the mirror. My mom would be like, Remy, like stop. Like
Yeah.
stop gyrating all the time. So like you think like me being alone, not sexy, but me with a guy, sexy, approved, right?
Yeah.
So I would always put so much stock in like fucking or being with guys and that being the time for sex. But there's so much agency now in me being able to get off alone, which like I always thought it was like, oh, that's such a gross like feminist thing. But it's like,
Yeah.
no, it's like it's a great human thing that like
Yeah.
you need to whack off sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's so cool not relying on another person. So to your point, if you're just an inside man, there's a great thing called a motor bunny or a Sibian. It is a ride-on saddle with an attachment, and it's got like different dicks. But you can use like a shock rub, which is just like a really like beautiful like oblong marble thing. Like I tried one episode, amazing. Like I understand
so
the
many
not wanting to
options.
touch the inside of your body sometimes.
Yeah, there's like the skeevy. Like
Eventually
I've
it
tried
will
to
turn
shower.
you
Oh,
on.
God.
My clit does turn me on now. I'm like, cool, because I know what it's doing. But like earlier this year, I was like, disgusting little triangle.
I relate a lot to what you were saying about like feeling creepy being sexual.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed that like when I'm masturbating, I don't totally feel I'm alone. Like I feel like
Someone's watching.
yeah, like someone's watching.
Is it God?
I
think that when I was younger, like, here we go.
I always used to look up and be like,
I
God,
always
if
thought
you're
dead
here,
people
please
still
look
saw
away.
me. Yeah. I always saw like dead ones.
Yeah.
Like someone like family members.
Ghosts. Yeah.
No.
you feel like ghosts are watching?
Sometimes, like
Sometimes.
you don't know
like
if they're
dead family
around.
members. Like they're
Like
up there
we don't
somewhere.
know. Okay, we don't know if God exists. We don't know if ghosts exist. Like they could be watching
They
us
could
masturbate.
Like
But so
Wow.
is my cat, and it's fine. So, but yeah, you felt creepy alone.
Yeah, like well, writing this show actually has gotten me to do like a lot more processing about all of this
Yeah.
stuff for myself, and I think I've like made a lot of progress on it. But like I definitely feel like I was ashamed of my fantasies in a way that I didn't
Yeah.
understand. And like I've made a lot of progress on that of just like being like, it's okay. Like this is I think that's the thing is like I feel like people can read my thoughts and it's like no, like I own my thoughts.
What was the weirdest or the fantasy that you thought was weirdest that now you think is everyone does?
well, I
Or
think
not everyone, or is okay,
Yeah.
is acceptable for you now?
Well, maybe I won't share all of my
No, don't share all of your fantasies.
But like definitely like I think so I was like a women's studies student in college
Okay.
and like definitely a feminist and I think my brain would like short circuit that my fantasies were like often where like I was submissive or like not in power compared
Yeah.
to men, and like even though I like intellectually know that is like totally fine and like
Totally
your
fine.
fantasies are like great.
Yeah.
It was like my brain, I think like my brain would like
You were like, am I not me anymore?
like I think I was like this is bad, like, and that's something that I've like mostly gotten over it. I think it's like still there a little bit.
People do weird shit. People want weird shit. One of my friends wrote to me. She's like, you could have some really weird shit. And I was like, well, don't just say that because that freaks me out. She's like, no. Like, I like to have my boyfriend pretend that he kidnapped me. And like,
Yeah.
like we do
totally.
like this role play or whatever. She's like, it's great. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Like,
yeah, I
think-
feel like that's not very uncommon
No.
at all.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was thinking about during your show, I was like, they know where their clits are, right? Like you don't have to put anything up there. Like
That's what I always thought was you had to put something up.
I did too.
Always. And even with physical therapy, like it's kind of, people always think, and I have to remind them in like
In your stand-up
in
shows?
a stand-up in my set,
Yeah.
that like her fingering, her stretching, and like her moving the muscle, I'm not getting off on it. Like
Right.
constantly.
Well, guys don't.
Guys
they're
will
like, if
come
you
up to
throw
me.
anything in there, they're constantly getting off. Like,
No,
you need to
no,
do shit, and it
nope.
needs to be in the right mood. And
Yep.
yeah,
Like milk, like not even like females too, but like will come up to me and be like, "Oh, so you get all like," and it sucks because I want to be able to explain in my set that it's more than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's so hard to explain. Also, like in the top of your show, you're like, it's okay, because there's this like wave of, oh gosh, this poor girl. Like, how do we help her? She's like, I chose to write this show. Like, but it's like, we need people saying stuff, and it's not just to like. It's not to get pity. Like, it's hard to do it in a comedy show because then people pity you and you're like, no, I'm still better than you. Fuck you. Like, stop it. I'm still smart and great and whatever. But like,
no, it's a good thing. Like, no, it's a good thing. It's like,
well, it's still not a good, like, I wouldn't say it's a good
thing.
thing, but it has like, but also my life doesn't, like, if you're not coming ever, like, it doesn't mean you still can't like taste stuff and enjoy, like, you're still not like you don't have a terrible quality of life.
Yeah.
And that's immediately people's like, oh my God. And they cry.
Yeah, I still have a lot of people when I do comedy about it or like do the show I'll hear in the crowd like, oh, and I'm like, no, like it's okay. Like I still like enjoy talking about this.
Yeah.
And like like writing this show was a joy for me.
This makes me
and, like,
interesting.
yeah.
You're all here to see me.
And then they go on they go on a journey with you. And I saw that in the show. I would constantly start to look at the audience members because like I start to see what you were trying to do, and I was like, I want to see how they were reacting because I was like, maybe this is how audiences react when I talk about this. So I want, because I never get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you never on the outside view.
It was fun to watch their faces.
It was they were so into it, and I realized. And I was talking to another female comedian about this, Nika McLean. Do you know Nika? She's great. She was talking to me, and she says to me, she said, you come in doing your set like, guys, I just had sex. And like people are like, what? Like, this girl just had sex. Like, they're confused. And she's like, come in kind of being like, hey, this is my thing. Like, talk to them on a human level. Like, don't dumb down your audience.
Yeah.
And I would do that because I want them to get excited with me. But then sometimes audiences would flip on me and be like, what the fuck is this girl talking about?
Like, also, there's like this immediately like,
What's wrong with her?
What's wrong with her?
Yeah.
But it must be mental. Like, you must be like a terribly annoying person because guys are horny. And if you're a straight woman, like, someone's tried to fuck you. So they're like, what is wrong with her?
And then I say my age and they're like, whoa.
Jeez.
You just see their faces. And I'm like, oh, that was a wrong way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're like, hey guys, I'm round the clock horny. And
I'm ready to get it in.
no, you have figured it out though, how to do it on stage, I think.
I think I'm like, it's getting there. It's almost there.
So you talk about your vaginismus in your comedy.
Yeah, like it's not like a 4 or 5 minute set, and it's like there's like I found the funny parts in it, you know, and I just want to make it more real now. And I need to find an ending. I need to find a good beginning, ending, and middle. But I have the pieces in between that I think people are enjoying, and I'm kind of taking them on a ride. I don't want them to get uncomfortable. And males will come after the show. Boys will men will come to me after the show and be like, "Oh my God, I think I know a girl like that, or like my girlfriend has like," and it's becoming more intimate now rather than before. It was more like a stage thing.
Yeah. Well, I think it's nice for guys to know, because like if you're constantly being like, I don't want to fuck you or whatever, and you've been hooking up with somebody for a while, he's gonna eventually be like, is it because I'm gross? And you're like, no, my vagina is closed.
It's like, it's not you.
It's not you. It's literally me.
It's literally.
Yeah.
And sometimes men don't get that. Like in college, men never understood, like, when you didn't want, like, what's wrong? Like, they didn't.
Yeah.
They would instantly jump to they're doing something, like, you know what I mean?
Well, also, like, maybe this was like this for you too, but I didn't understand it for so long.
Right.
So
You couldn't explain to them.
Yeah. So I just knew that I wanted to avoid it.
Yeah.
Just blowjobs.
That you're just like,
Just
don't
blowjobs,
go down
yeah.
there.
Just a lot of blowjobs. That's so funny that you did that.
I did that so many times.
So many.
And I was
So many
definitely,
blowjobs.
not like deathly afraid of penises, but I was just like very overwhelmed by penises when everybody else started fucking. And like I started quote unquote late, but I like, and then when I finally was like, all right, penises aren't so scary, then I started giving blowies. So it's very brave to me that you guys.
You're like second nature now. Like, give me a dick and I'll just. That's terrible. I'm saying this on the bio.
No. It's good.
Disclosure. Like, I'm not gonna.
Please don't send Riley your dick DMs.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Unless they're nice.
Yeah,
Unless you
then
ask
I don't
nicely.
mind.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty. It's okay.
Yeah. Who was the guy? Not who was he, but who was he to you? Like,
A friend,
okay.
which was like great, like just like a random friend. So it was like, it was cool. It wasn't like a. Sometimes I wish it was like a boyfriend. So I could have experienced it. So like I kind of wonder. I was gonna ask you about that. I was like, how is that? Because I always wonder if I would have done it with a boyfriend, and like it just maybe because I like the guy. I really like the guy a lot. But what if I like there was more to it? You know what I mean? Like he took me out to dinner after. Like that. You know what I mean? Like, what do I mean? Like a date. Like, what if he was more
if there
than
was
a
more
friend?
emotion
Yeah,
to it?
that would have been. I feel like that would have been even better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the sex.
Well, I was just so focused on getting it in that like it was all about like the vaginismus for me. I was just like, can I get a penis inside me? Because like I really like thought that I never would. Like for a while, I went through like a phase of being like, like, yeah, it seems like I'm not that comfortable with like stuff happening in my vagina, but like I'm sure I'll get past this. And then eventually I was like, oh, I have a I have a condition. And also it was really relieving when I found out there was a name for it. I was like,
I didn't know
my
this
God.
name. Like I just said high. I would always say high pelvic wall dysfunction. Then I looked it up. I was like, this is great.
It's not it's not a great. I think
It's
just call it.
it's kind of such a gross name.
Super
Kinda,
tight puss.
I like that.
Yeah, I like tight vagina.
Tight pussy. Yeah.
Tight pussitosis.
That's hot.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember I found a TLC special about it, like when I first learned what it was, and it was like this couple where the woman like was talking about her vaginismus, and then it was just like such a classic TLC special. Like at the end, she was like, "Now we have sex, and it's great." And like I was like, "Oh my God, will that be me?"
You're
one
like
day?
someday me.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
I was like, I can do this one day. But yeah, I was just like, I was so afraid that I like wouldn't be able to get the penis in. And
How many
like,
pumps did you guys get in your first time? Just one?
Very few. I mean, I was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I was like, I really just wanted to get this in.
Yeah.
And like, I totally forgot that like there was stuff after this.
And there's another person involved.
I was just like, oh, we're like bumping around now. Like, no, I was like, no, this was all about like just getting it in.
Yeah. Was your first time?
No, it worked.
You
It
did
worked.
sex.
It was sex. Like it was a full on like, oh my God, let's look in the movies.
And then you came.
And then not the first
Oh, no,
time.
okay.
Which was like first
So
time.
wait,
Just felt
have
really
you
good.
been just practicing with this one friend?
Yeah, but like here and there, like but he's like the only one that I really like came with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to move on to other friends, to
Other friends.
people.
Yeah. You're like, I don't want to end up in
I
a
don't know if this is
relationship.
right? But like, I think I'm scared. I think I'm like, and I'm comfortable. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is comfortable.
Did it feel comfortable coming in front of another person?
I think I didn't know it was happening. Like I was like, whoa, this feels really good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then it happened. I was like, uh-oh. Like it was more of like a, okay, here we go. And now when it happens, it's like, okay, here we go. Like it's like, it's so much fun, guys. Like,
it's so fun.
Like you don't even expect it. Like I was like, okay, this is cool. But the first time that like it worked when he got it in, I was like, oh, like I remember, oh my God, like it's in my head. I was like you
didn't say anything, though?
I think I was like, like he knew, you know what I mean? Like he was like, okay, light bulb, because he knew about what was happening. So I was like, oh my God. And then like it kept going. I was like, wait a second, like this feels okay. And then I was like, oh my God, this is like in the movies where they're like,
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
That's
like,
awesome.
So cool. But also, to your point about crying the first time, I cried the first time I came.
You did?
I did. Yeah.
During it or after?
I came multiple times the first time. And then I was done and I was like on the floor and I was like, oh my God.
I feel like your legs aren't there.
Yeah,
right?
my legs were shaking
gone.
off my body.
My legs are gone.
And I was just hysterically crying, like covered in fucking cum. Like,
it's like a murder scene.
I actually took a video right after of myself. I'll put that on the Patreon for you guys this week. It's literally me crying, like just being like, I fucking came.
Wait, you squirted?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So exciting. I want to try this.
Yeah. And for those of you who's scared to wet your bed, Thinx just came out with a fucking sex blanket that's black on one side that has this Thinx absorbency of underpants. And then it's like beautiful, like knit on the other side. And you just like throw it in, like it absorbs everything. Your period, cum,
that's so nice.
soy sauce, like anything that you get on your bed.
Sounds like the usual suspects.
Yeah, right.
Like our bodies can do amazing ass things.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, why am I depending on a man to make me come?
No.
Like, there's ways.
And do you know how many times a day you get horned up? Like,
oh, so many.
if you're one of us, all day. Right?
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm always horny.
Yep.
Like listening to your story, I need you to leave now.
Like I was getting excited to hear me. I was getting so pumped. I was like thinking back to when it happened. I was like, oh my God. I think I was texting my friends after, like, oh, and they were so like.
Yeah, I've definitely. Have you ever like gone to a whole movie and like thought about sex the entire time?
Yeah.
And like left and been like, what was that movie about? That was Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy for me. Like I don't know what happened to that movie
the whole time.
Yeah, it was like such a horny phase for me when that movie came out.
Yeah. Oh God, it must be so I mean, I'm not feeling bad for you at all, but it just sucks. Like when you're like horned up and you're like, I don't know what to do, and also everything I have tried doesn't work, and I hate it.
It's so.
But sex feels good now.
Mm-hmm.
Ish.
Yeah. I
okay.
like. Like I said, like especially over the last 6 months of working on my show, I feel like I've like also like reached a new place with my sexuality.
Yeah.
Where like
amazing.
things are like I feel like I have figured out like what arouses me and like what like what I want in sex.
Yeah. There's also like, I feel like I used to ignore other parts of my body and how like they like to be touched because I thought it was all vagina centric.
You're so right. Yeah.
Right? Like
I'm sensing other things. Like when I'm hurting certain places, I'm more responsive than before. I used to ignore things, and I'm like taking care better of body parts.
But also like I'd be like always like, oh, I love having my neck kissed or whatever, but I would never tell a person that because I was like, well, that's not sex.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to be having sex.
Penetration.
Or like you love having your nipples or like your boobs honked sometimes or your butt grabbed or whatever, but like that's not your vagina. You're here for your vagina. But like there's so much like Corinne Fisher was laughing at me because I took a masturbation class. Oh my God, I've really enjoyed grabbing my butt while masturbating. And she's like, I've been grabbing my butt this entire time. Like you had to have somebody tell you or give you permission to grab your butt? And I was like, I didn't know. I thought it was just all my hole.
Yeah.
The permission thing is such a real thing.
Right?
It's so real. Especially for young ladies. Like for young women, it's such a thing. Like you can do it.
Yeah.
It's okay because I think we're told like
and you can find yourself sexy. Even if someone's not interested in you at the moment, you can still find yourself hot. Did you know? Like it sounds so obvious, but it's like I don't know.
Also, I think like if a lot of your early sexual experiences are with people who are just like very vagina focused, that will affect you.
Well, a lot of young guys don't know how to fuck either.
Yeah.
So that's why they're vagina focused, and it's not like anything on their part. They want you to have a good time. They just don't know how to make it happen. they've been taught that it's just, oh, if I have a big dick. Like, this podcast has changed my views on dicks too, because I'm like, wait, size really doesn't matter. Like, 77% of women need your clitoris played with. You don't need a penis for that.
Right. And I was going to say, especially
true.
having vaginismus, I was always like, please have the smallest dick. Like,
I still get so excited if I see a small dick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, smaller the better. Give it like smaller. If a guy's like, oh, okay, especially if like a comedian's like on stage and it's like, blah, 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 I have a small dick. I'm like, who that? Like,
let's talk after.
Now I know. Like,
That's amazing.
this is great. Like, he's in my head.
There's someone for everyone, really. You know, that's why we just have to talk about it more. Like, be like, I have a small pussy. Oh, I have a small dick. Okay, great.
yeah.
And then you run off into the sunset and fuck.
Yeah. All my friends are like, Riley, you got to stop with the small dick shit. Like, you're gonna want a big dick like sooner or later. I'm like, nah, like small dicks still appeal way more than.
No, but this podcast, very small dick positive, because it's like, you don't need a fucking dick. Like, just, I mean, like, you do, it's nice.
Like small dicks forever.
It's nice. But like, you can do so much. You can actually make girls come without like a big honking dick. Just, yeah. I just
like,
wanted to
be
give all the
aware.
guys with the
Yeah.
small dicks out there a little
praise.
little
Like,
praise.
shout out.
Yeah, shout out to you guys.
And blowjobs are easier. Like, there's so many.
Yeah. Anal's easier.
Everything's just. We love you, small dicks.
We love you, small dicks.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, there was one. Oh, your characters in the show, too, were hilarious. I particularly liked the Christmas theme.
oh, yeah.
Merry Vaginismus.
Yeah. Before I even decided I wanted to write the show, I like thought in my head once out of nowhere, I was like, Merry Vaginismus. And I was like, I'll come up with somewhere to put that concept.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I have a character in my show where I'm like Santa. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Merry Vaginismus.
And then you get all of the symptoms of vaginismus in your stockings.
Yeah.
So funny. So good.
Oh, I also loved the Barbie character.
Oh, yeah.
Barbie who can be penetrated.
That character's inspired by how I like my Barbies were always having sex when I was a kid. And I was like, because I was such a like horny kid.
Yeah. You said to your mom, you were like, Barbies should be anatomically correct. There should be Barbies that can fuck.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. But then I was like, well, yeah, like what? I mean, you don't want kids making, who can, whatever. Like the point of your Barbie character was like, she was like, I'm a doctor. I have a successful practice. I go shopping with my friends. And then I like to get fucked or whatever. And I was like, but that really is like I would have loved to play with a doll. Was that like, you can be it all and get fucked.
Well, also like later in life, you realize that everybody's Barbies were fucking.
Yeah.
Like
Every doll.
it was like an unraveling in my early 20s. And I was like, your Barbies fucked too? Like mine were, all I did with them was
And
they
all
fucked.
the audience members were nodding their head. Like, I'm looking,
Yeah.
and even the men were like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone played with their
Like,
Barbies.
"Ugh, all I had was G.I. Joes. I'd steal my sister's Barbies because
Yeah,
I wanted them to
it's
fuck.
fun. And they were so sexualized too. Like the Barbies, like they were, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they're sexy.
they weren't like like they weren't square.
No.
They had beautiful tits. Like,
Yeah.
I wish my tits held up like Barbies. Like, gorgeous.
I used to put clothes on my Barbies just to take them off. Like I was like
Amazing.
I was like
amazing, yeah.
my Barbies are strippers who also fuck a lot.
Did you ever play The Sims?
Yeah.
Oh, they always fuck.
They were my Sims.
Yeah.
I'd always try to make them fuck, or I'd like I'd put them in the shower and then I'd delete the house so then you could see them naked.
That was like your porn when you were little. I used to watch HBO True Blood.
Ooh,
yeah.
But I was in high school when that came out.
Yeah, I was in college.
In college. So I was like 14.
Yeah.
And my mom, like, we used to watch HBO all the time, like Curb and all that. Like, we always watched that. But I loved Vampire, like True Blood. And my mom was like, okay, like, watch it with your friends. So, like, some of my friends would come over and watch in the basement. One time my mom came downstairs and they were like fucking, like vampire fucking. And vampire fucking is like insane.
Yeah, it's really
And we'd all
fast.
get like, I get so fucking horny. Like, my mom couldn't. She's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" Like, there was soft porn on
Yeah.
TV at like 14. She goes, "I can't believe I let you guys." But I was like, "This was like my guilty pleasure." I was like,
Yeah.
"Mom, this is it."
I used to, you know, the first episode when Sookie, or I don't know if it's the first episode, but it's the first time Sookie and Bill fuck.
Oh my god.
And it's that song, when you give It's like very romantic. That used to be on my masturbating playlist because I thought you had to be romantic. But then I'd be like, I'm alone. This isn't romantic.
Well, remember that scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin where he first masturbates and he doesn't he light a candle?
Yeah.
And he
gets
makes it all romantic. I tried doing that once.
That's what I've done that.
I was like, it worked for Steve Carell in the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
It gotta work for me.
I did it on episode 2 and I ended up crying. So I was wondering too, because you had said that you didn't really masturbate and you said that you couldn't masturbate, but
I'm still scared.
here's the thing. Finger blasting, not so fun, but your clit is just there. Did you know?
Oh, I knew.
See, because I didn't. And I say this from a place, because I used to think I would just finger myself and I thought that was it. No.
Oh. Well, I still kind of have this where I don't like the feeling of my clit.
I understand what you're it feels creepy to you.
Yeah, it feels creepy.
Yeah.
It's unknown territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, still.
But that's only because it's not done anything good for you yet, but it will. So here are my recommendations. And I know that you've tried things when you're already in your head about it. Lube. Use fucking lube. Do you ever get to the point where you feel like you have to pee?
Yeah.
Constantly.
So that means you can come.
Wait, that's when you're...
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Our minds are blown.
I
our
know.
faces right now
I know.
are what?
I know.
Whoa.
So the thing is you just have to push through that.
Whoa.
But you guys, this has been the best. You're so much fun. Riley, can you let people know where to follow you on social media and where you'll be in the next few weeks?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram, Riley Lassin, or on Facebook, Riley Lassin. I do weekly shows at the Grizzly Pear on Wednesdays at midnight. That's always a hopping show. It's fun. And yeah,
I've done that show. I
bounced
loved
it. Yeah,
it.
Remy. Oh my god.
Oh my
You're
God. I was
amazing.
dancing.
Yes.
The music's always amazing. It's a genuinely good hang.
Yeah, if anything,
show.
it's a fun hang for comedians.
But
and
it's
it's also
a fucking great show.
It's a free show.
Yeah.
It's so chill. And I think that's why I like it a lot because
Yeah.
I get to meet. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I'm still I'm a baby in this still, so it's still a good way to meet.
I love a good
and
hang.
be with people. And yeah,
Molly Brenner, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Molly_Brenner or on Facebook as Molly Brenner.
Wow. Okay.
I'm also on Twitter at Molly Green Giant. And yeah, I'm going to be doing my show, Molly Brenner Is Not Coming, at the Out of Bounds Festival August 31st and September 1st.
That's awesome.
In Austin.
It was a really informative show. It really was a fun educational roller coaster.
and it went by so fast.
It went
was
by so fast.
Good. And yeah.
And you can find me monthly at the Pine Box Rock Shop the third Tuesday of every month at 8 p.m.
Okay, Riley, what do you
I
want to say?
think I'm
Something
gonna
else?
see. Never mind.
What?
I was like, I think I'm going there this week or whatever.
Oh, great
Okay,
venue.
cool. Right.
I am also
wonderful.
going there next week.
Oh,
Are you
really?
on Stan's show?
I think I'm on Tuesday.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I'll see you
Okay,
there.
wonderful. Okay,
Awesome.
guys.
I usually get an assignment from our guests to our listeners. But I mean, is there anything that you would? I kind of just want to tell you guys to get some womanizers, and I would like you to report back to me afterwards, and then maybe we could, do a follow-up or something like that, because I really have faith in this thing. And they're coming out with new types this month.
Oh, I'm going to go buy a womanizer.
Yeah, I think
I'm
you should.
very excited. I want to keep it in my pocket. It looks like a perfume, but it's so classy.
Yeah, it's so classy. It's great.
It's wonderful.
I can travel with it. No one's like, what is that? Yeah, and we're going to buy you a big dildo.
A big dick.
Yeah, or something. Thank you guys again. I just have to ask as a courteous host, did you finish?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great. Oh my God, Molly finished, you guys. Riley, did you finish?
I did, yes.
Okay, thank you guys
Yes,
for
thank you,
coming.
Remy.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time on How Come.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no. I've still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help, 'cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Me again. I was just coming back to remind you the Patreon link. It is patreon.com/howcome. Again, for those of you who have not been familiar with Patreon, it is a place where you can support the podcast and donate as little as $1, or you could do a dollar a month, and you get cool extras and stuff. Last week we mentioned Orgasmic Meditation, and I had not looked into it yet before I recorded this episode. So Alex and I are doing a filmed episode that's going to be a Patreon exclusive where we talk about that. I might have an expert on eventually to talk about it for the free podcast. But yeah, you can get early access. And then Alex and I are going to be doing, Alex, our sound guy, Alex Bashara, shout out if you guys don't know him. One of you does. One of you was like talking to him on Tinder, and they were like, oh my God, I know from the podcast that you don't like blowjobs. That was the best day of my life. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to be doing this thing called the post-coitus, where we film ourselves chatting about what happened in the episode that week, and that's going to be a Patreon exclusive. So if you want to be a patron, that's cool. You too, Mom and Dad, if you're listening. All right, guys, see you next time on How Come. Oh, and yeah, that video of me crying after my first orgasm will be on the Patreon on Wednesday. Okay, see you. Bye.